Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and my voice is a little hoarse right now. The voice of the relocation, it's a little hoarse, y'all. We've had a lot of fun in Relo lately, but I'm joined by two amazing people, great friends, amazing industry folks. Here we've got Teela Gleason from Sudeth. What's up, Teela?
What's up, Ben? Thanks for hosting today.
Yeah, and a good friend of the show, Mark Bicocchi, as well, from Hilton Worldwide. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Ben? Thanks for having us today.
Hey, anytime. I love having a nice Italian name, Bicocchi, you know. No, this is great, and we're going to be talking about Relopalooza, probably the best name for a conference of all time. We're talking about Relopalooza. What is it? When is it? How do I get there? Do I need a tent camp? What's going on? We're going to find out about that. We're going to be talking about, we're going to get some amazing top fives and overrated, underrateds as well. This is going to be a really fun episode. I encourage all of you who are watching right now to get in the comments. Let us know who you are, where you are. Give your company a shout out. Let us know what your favorite conference was, what your favorite concert was. You know, let us know, because we're gonna be talking about everything in between. We got people checking and shit. Can we give some shout outs real quick? Teela, Mark. That's a rhetorical. We can give some shout outs.
Is that for us?
For us?
Yeah, it was just I just want you to come with me on this walk here for a second. We got people checking in here. The C Mark and no, okay, help me out here. Is it VARK?
VARK.
Are we VARKing? What?
Yeah,
VARKing.
VARK. Yeah.
All right, explain real quick. Explain these acronyms real quick for people who don't know, for the few people who may not know.
Sure. So VARK is the Virginia Area Relocation Council. We used to be Greater Richmond Relocation Council out of Virginia. We just changed our name about a year ago. We wanted to get a little bit bigger. And so, yeah, that was the acronym. There's a lot of other chapters that have changed names, and they've come up with, something that is easy to say. So, yeah, we're now VARK. Teela, did you want to cover the CMARC piece?
Yeah, no. So I was the past president of CMARC, which is the Charlotte Metro Area Relocation Council. It's a mouthful, but CMARC and VARK have joined forces to create the event of the year, which we'll talk about.
What is this,
today.
like the Avengers? What are y'all doing out there? I want to know. We got people coming in here. Hit that like button right now. Let me know if you've ever been to a VARK or a CMARC event. Can let me know, why do I need to go to a VARK or a CMARC event, and what does it mean that you are joining forces? I want to know. We're going to get to that here. We got people checking in. This is going to be awesome. Looking forward to seeing you both. Charles Beatty. Right. What's up, Charles? Hit that like button right now. What's up, Ben and Teela? Oh, just doing a little podcast,
Teela G.
Chester. Teela
Don't
G.
forget, Teela G.
Teela G in the morning. Teela G sounds like the ultimate radio DJ handle. Teela, have you ever done radio? Be honest with us.
I'm not. I wanted to be a broadcast journalist, though, so that was the closest I came. So who knows?
I could totally see it. Yeah. Mark Bicocchi, what is the job that you always wanted to do that you never haven't yet had a chance to do?
There were a couple different ones. I've been asked this recently, actually. Believe it or not, growing up, I wanted to be a game show host. I used to watch Price is Right all the time and loved it. And then at some point down the line, I wanted to be a soap opera actor. I don't know why, but neither
the
of
Italian in you
worked
coming
out. Yeah, neither of those worked out. I just found my way into Relo. So
could have been a walk-on for Days of Our Lives or a hospital.
Yeah, my college buddies and I, we would schedule our classes around Days of Our Lives, believe it or not, because we had a crush on a couple of the actresses in the show.
Nice. Wow. Look how just, we just really get into it. We really get to know people on this show. It's not just about Relo. We get into the love as well. Aaron Allman. Hello, everyone. What's up, Aaron? Rachel. Shout out to my girl, Teela. Look at this here. Adam checking out. Hey, shout out to super producer Adam. Can we give Adam a round of applause?
Yeah.
Making us all look good out here. Lord knows it's hard. Gavin Bosco. Yo.
Yeah.
What's up, Gavin?
What up, Gavin? Gavin's amazing. Allie, shout out to our fearless leader, Rockstar Teela.
Yeah. Love you, girl.
See, she's saying you should be like lead singer. You should be like Joan Jett or something, not not like behind the radio.
If I were gonna karaoke, it would probably be the Joan Jett. It's the only one I could pull off, probably.
This is great. Dara checking out.
Tara, what's up?
Sue Smith,
Sure.
Mary Lee Bratt from sunny Minnesota. Good to see you, Mary Lee. Here we got people checking. Hit that like button. We're gonna get into it. Vinny Valverde,
Vinny.
3 of my favorites by far. Super bummed to miss the event. Let's talk about the event. And by the way, Vinny was a talk show host on this very program once upon a time. Mark, are you meaning to tell me that you want to host a talk show, a game show on Love and Relo one day? Is that what you're saying?
I'd be happy to do it sometime. I would never want to step on Vinny's toes. He did an amazing job. I think I was a contestant on that. The Family Feud, I think which was a lot of fun. And he was fantastic. Who knows? Maybe we could co-host it sometime.
Vinny was amazing. We could give away, $100 or something big. It would be incredible.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this event. Vinny says, I'm super bummed to miss this event. You told me VARC and C-Mark are joining forces. What can we expect?
So I if you want to, I can kick it off. So this is our second year joining forces with C-Mark, and just a little bit of context, I'd say, is we've seen throughout the years, especially recently, there's been multiple chapters out there that have combined forces to throw a really good event. You see some great turnout, better networking opportunities, so on and so forth. So with our sort of expansion with our chapter last year, we had talked to C-Mark, our pals down there, and decided that Raleigh was kind of a central area between both chapters that made sense to throw an event. And so we did, and it was met with pretty positive feedback. We had a really good turnout, great content, a lot of good networking, and a good venue, even though it was a Marriott. And
we
so,
love you, Katie.
and so,
Are you even contractually allowed to say that, Mark? I mean, I don't even know if you're allowed.
But anyway, no, it was actually a beautiful hotel. It was the AC hotel, and we had a great turnout. So this year we wanted to kind of ride the coattails of that a bit and come up with, we're seeing out there that a lot of the different chapters are being pretty innovative and creative in their events. And so we really wanted to do something a little bit different, where we can, not just separately have, great content, great networking, and then some good social events or fun, but really combine all of that together throughout the entire event. And so we are going to be having a very large music themed event throughout for a couple of days. And we have lots of different things in store, but at a high level, that's what it's going to be. We're being very careful about making sure that there is music tied to every single session, whether it's just content session or cocktail hour or breakfast, or there's going to be a song that's associated with each of those. We're going to have a DJ there as well that we'll talk about. So that's just at a broad scale. We're going to end it with a Mobility Unplugged event. So there's a number of different things, and maybe I'll pause there and let Teela kind of fill in where I may have missed some gaps there.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Enneagram 3 here, speaking up, mine's going to be a little more colorful. The cool part was we had this idea of how do we make fun and teach people at the same time, like Mark said.
I love it.
And we've got some pretty magnetic people on these two boards. And we start talking, and then one idea spawns another, which spawns another. And this thing just started to grow legs. And we're like, this is going to be a really cool event. We need to talk it up. We need to hype it up and let everyone understand the sweat equity being put into this to make it an amazing couple of days for folks. So I'm really excited to share some of the insights, and I can tell you there's not a detail that has been left unturned here. To the finest little details. We had a meeting today to kind of talk through some of the things, and at every turn you'll have a surprise, and it's going to be something that you don't want to miss, I promise.
Well, I'm going to press you for some of these surprises because I think the people want to know. Get in the comments. Let me know what questions or comments you have for Mark and Teela. whether it be about Relopalooza, whether it be about, I guess we could talk about Relo stuff too. Let me know. Look at this. Dara saying Mark is contractually obligated to make one Marriott joke per call.
That's true. And Katie will get me back for this.
I asked if we were tent camping, and you did say basically, is what you said, Mark. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's lovely. All kidding aside here, but I do want to press you for some details, maybe something you can give me. You said that you said you have a DJ going on. Anything you want to let us know about the DJ, maybe?
Yes. So if you're familiar with Elizabeth Martin, other known as Lizzie Beats,
AKA Beats.
Yeah, she's gonna be joining us. We're thrilled to have her.
That's dope.
She's done a few other events. She does this on the side. We've already had a meeting with her. We're gonna have subsequent meetings, but essentially what we're looking at is there's going to be a cocktail hour, kind of open things up after a corporate benchmarking, and we're going to have a t-shirt concert prize kind of session during the cocktail hour. So everybody's going to wear their favorite band or concert t-shirt.
Oh, that's nice. So you can wear concert t-shirts to the event.
Correct. To the opening cocktail hour of the first night. And we will have prizes for best t-shirt, for potentially one of the things in registration was we asked people to name their favorite band. So they will, if there are bands that are common throughout for favorite band, and those will be featured on the lanyards, which I'm going to let Teela talk about. But that's one piece of it. Lizzie will be DJing that. Going into the second day, like I said, every single session, whether it's breakfast, whether it's the morning walk, which we have Wake Me Up Before Your Go-Go tied to it as a song. It will be opened up by songs which will be DJ'd by Lizzie Beats. Every panel that's introduced will have a song introducing that panel, which makes sense to the content of the panel. And we'll continue with that theme throughout. So it's going to be something special. And just to mention again on the cocktail hour, that's called Moving Out by Billy Joel. So that will be the opener for that. And we have a variety of other ones that we could share, but Teela, I'll let you talk about the lanyards and some of the other fun things.
Yeah, so everyone gets a boring badge when they go to a conference. And so what we wanted to do was shake things up a little bit, play along with the festival theme. So we have these really cool concert or conference style badges and lanyards that feature either your memoji or a doctored up picture or a regular photo.
All right. I know what, listen, I know what doctored up photos are. Okay. I have a headshot like the rest of y'all. Okay. But tell me what a memoji is for those of us who are above 40.
Yeah, so just like an emoji, when you're hitting your smiley faces, kissy faces, all the things, you can actually customize one that looks like you. And so you're getting this fun character with clothing and accessories and all the fun things to really jazz it up and make it fun. And so what we're doing is taking whatever image you want, we're placing it on your lanyard in your badge. And you can use whatever name. Actually, we have a great speaker, Jay Weisner from Comcast, who you guys probably know very well. Huge Prince fan. And so Jay's like, can I use the Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince symbol instead of my name? I was like, it's your badge, whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat. So it's going to be a ton of fun, but it'll be a great way for people to meet each other. And one of the pre-registration questions we've asked is, who's your favorite band? And it really is to kind of spark the conversation and make it easy to network, because that can be so daunting for people who really don't know how to work a crowd. So find someone with some similar interests in music and then let the conversation flow.
Okay, I have so many comments right now. Okay, this sounds amazing. One, I love the fact that you've put as much thought into the experience of it as you have like the content of it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's sometimes where we drop the ball when we plan these events, is like we don't think about people as people, right? We think about the relo, but we don't think about the love, you know? And we
Yeah.
have to enjoy doing what we're doing, or else we're gonna be checked out, we're gonna be on our phones, we're gonna be, you know, and you have to really make people want to go. There's so many options out there, and it has to be something appealing. So I give you major kudos and props for that. I gotta
And
I
we're
gotta ask
sporting
you,
we're sporting preliminary concert T-shirts.
what do
today,
you got?
which
What do
is
you got? Show me.
So
Show
I
me
have
what you got there.
one of my favorite '90s bands was In Excess, of the late Michael Hutchins, who's the lead singer, and so this is one of many I have. I'll have a different one at the concert T-shirt contest.
So
but
that's
I
not the one you're
one.
wearing, but that's a teaser right now.
This is a teaser, and then Teela's got one too.
Hold on, before you tell us what it is, what it is.
Okay, guesses.
I want to ask everybody out there to guess what Teela's concert T-shirt is right now, so you can kind of get like a little snippet of it. But I want to know, what are y'all? Put it in the comments. I want you to guess what is the band that she's sporting right now. Mark, do you know the answer already?
I do.
Okay, so you're disqualified.
Okay.
My team might be disqualified too.
Okay, if you're a Suddather or Suddathie or a Suddathite, you can't. Okay, we got our first guess here. Get in the comments here. The winner has to get something. What can the winner get? The winner's got to get something. A free drink at the conference?
Free, yeah, I was gonna say like something free at the conference.
Teela will buy you a free drink at the conference.
There you go.
Suddath will buy you a free drink at the conference if you guess what band she's got on. People are going banana pancakes.
I tell you what, the person who guesses it, if they attend the conference, we will give them one of our amazing table centerpieces to take home with them. Centerpiece of their choice. How's that?
Nice. I love it. And a drink. Because people.
And let me tell you, these are going to be pretty cool centerpieces.
Okay. All right. We got guesses. Let's see. Janet Turner. Now, don't tell us if they're right yet, okay? Because Janet says Bruce. Okay. Okay. All right. Rachel says Dolly. Oh man. See, Rachel's very close to Gavin Bosco says Taylor Swift. No, I think we're gonna disqualify the Suddath family of peoples here. Yeah. Just because they may have insider information here, okay? It's like those radio contests. If you or anyone you know or related to work for the radio station, you can't. Elton John, Aaron says. Okay. Blondie, LinkedIn user says.
A LinkedIn user.
Katie. Katie, how do I say your last name?
Katie Go-Go.
Katie Go-Go.
Say Go-Go. Katie Go-Go.
Wake me up before you Katie Go-Go. All right. Jonathan Johnson, Pink. All right. Cliff Bierman, looks like David Bowie, but that's not a band. He disqualified himself. I like it. For the integrity. Jorge Flores, Rolling Stones. Oh, I like that guess too.
Stones are good, yeah.
I like that guess. I saw the Stones last year here in Dallas. Shocking. He's shocking. Charles Beatty, Prince. Mark Boncero, Stones. Okay, we got a couple Stones here. Coffee with Ben and Raleigh. Is that a band?
The prize. That's the prize, I think.
Allie knows. So I don't know if y'all know. I used to live in Raleigh for like 4 years.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's I wonder if you
know. I wonder if you know the venue of where we're having the Mobility Unplugged, the closing out event. Plus Piano Bar.
Plus Piano Bar.
Yeah.
Plus dueling. Yeah. Plus dueling pianos.
Plus dueling pianos.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Is it downtown Raleigh?
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably been 10 years since I've been there. So if it's cool, it wasn't there when I was there.
Okay.
AC/DC, Aerosmith. All right. The big reveal. Drum roll, please.
The big reveal is Blondie.
Oh my gosh, we got a Blondie.
Katie Go-Go. My girl.
Katie Go-Go, win it. Yep. Well, there you go, Katie. You get a centerpiece and a drink.
She already picked her centerpiece out.
Yeah.
2 centerpieces. Hope it's a long table you got there. This is interesting. So I want to. We got some late entries for Bon Jovi. I I want to ask you though, with this emoji thing, have y'all ever heard? Sidebar. Have y'all ever looked at the last emojis that you use on your phone when you go to text someone? You know how like they populate the emojis.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
The most recent.
The recents. Yeah, it's like your history. It's like your emoji history. You know.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and there's a bunch. There's 6 by 5. There's 30 emojis there. I
Yep.
think it'd be fun when people check in that you ask them what their most recent emoji used was, and you
That's
use
pretty
that
good.
because
What is
people will
yours?
tell you, "Oh, I'm the heart's eyes." No,
Yeah.
no, you ain't.
And
No,
Let
you
me
ain't.
see it. Let me see it.
That is
What are
really
you,
good.
Ben?
All
What's
right,
yours?
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
I will.
Mine is the smiley face. I'll show it. Can I show you? Yeah, mine is the smiley face with the red cheeks, like kind of like embarrassed,
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
I know. I
that
got
one.
away with murder on that one.
You
That's
did.
that's a very nice one to have.
I don't know why I have this one, but mine is this girl.
Like
Like,
I don't
No,
know.
yeah. I
use
use
that
that
a
one.
lot.
I use that one a lot too, but mine is probably the one with the one eye closed and the
Winky.
the winky.
No, is
With
it
the
the
tongue
one
out.
with the tongue? Oh, like I'm being
Yeah.
crazy tonight.
Yeah, that
Going to the NXS concert.
It's always- it's always wonderful when you're trying to find the one that you want to use and it's not in that top, and you're like, I thought this was here. And
How
you
do I
gotta go-
describe it? Yeah.
This is great. We got Jason Hall says, can you please provide the information for this event? Yes, definitely. I think Adam, our production manager, put it in the comments here on LinkedIn. So hopefully it links. But maybe, Adam, could we scroll
There
it?
you go.
Could we scroll that on the bottom?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not that it's clickable, but
And Jason and anybody else are welcome to email Teela or myself, also if you're having any issues, or we're happy to share the links.
okay, this is the last emoji related question of the day, I promise. But these are from the audience, so you got to honor the audience. Cliff Bierman made an amazing post about a corn analogy that his mother apparently came up with that is really beautiful about, and it was Cliff. I'm just gonna give it out. And there's a question behind this, I promise, Teela. Okay, this isn't just about Cliff. I know. No, and it said something like, it was a corn farmer and he shared his corn seeds with the other farmers around. They said, but if you share your corn seeds with everyone else, or kernels, I guess, aren't you afraid that they're going to compete with you? And he says, yeah, but if I don't, they're going to grow substandard corn and it's going to populate my field.
Oh.
And it was,
deep.
and to me, it was about the abundance mindset and how it's like, I'm going to give away knowledge, give away what I have that could be an advantage to help others, because a rising tide lifts all ships, to mix my metaphors, versus hoarding it for myself and hoping that I do better than everyone else.
That's a good
Wow.
one.
Yeah, that's really good.
And I say, Cliff, that's amazing. And I've never heard it before. Sometimes you hear stuff and you already heard it before.
Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing. I never heard it. I was like, dude, your emoji should be the corn.
That's great.
And he's like, I'm not going to be the corn guy, Ben. And I'm like, Cliff, you should be the corn guy. So I'm going to ask you both, should Cliff be the corn guy?
He
Yes.
should. Maybe he should put a Y behind it. He could be corny.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think that's helping
I
the
think you
case
should do
either.
it.
Yes, the corn is that is great. I
think
love it.
that's
I've never
good.
heard that story.
I have not seen that one. Or no,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of times, but no, that's good.
Yeah, the corn one. I think it could be solid. Trish saying, I didn't know you left Raleigh. Yeah, did. Totally. I worked with Trisha back there. Richard from the UK is in the house.
Joy Division. I like that.
Yeah, what is Joy Division?
Joy Division. They had a song in Stranger Things, I think, in the first season. They have they have a bunch of good stuff, but there's one that I know. Like if you heard it on the radio, you'd know it. That's a good call.
Yeah, and then of course the comments go the way they shouldn't go, they usually do when it's open sourced.
Yeah.
Jason's laughing, having a good time. That's awesome. We got another question here, a content question, I think. Okay, now we're getting kind of into Relo stuff. Okay, that's cool. I promised we would do it if we have to. Jason wants to know, what is your general procurement process for legal services? Will it be outlined at this event? So will there be content around how to maybe do business or grow business or, work with clients in the RMCs?
So we do have a session. Our opening session will touch on some of this a little bit. We're going to be focusing on cost containment and customer journey. And it's interesting, we had a practice session yesterday with an amazing team of speakers, and they wanted to do a little bit of a caveat to the topic. And this kind of aligns with that. So we will detour just a little to weave some of this into our content.
Okay. I like it. Because, I mean, that is one of the things, if we're talking about what people really want to know when they show up to these things, it's oftentimes, as much as it's fun, it's like, how do we do business? How do we do more business with each other? And I think, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just going to say, we could even, share even, and this will come out as we send reminders and so forth for the event. But really the main areas we're looking at is what Teela just mentioned as a session. Sustainability is going to be a big session. DE&I is going to be a big session. One session that I'm really excited about is, and I'll just preview the song, but the song is I Only Want to Be With You, which is going to open it. And the theme is You Had Me at Relo. So it's gonna essentially cover three kind of rock stars in the industry that have had a fairly long career in relocation, and really touch on a lot about their experience in the field and what they love about it, and why a lot of people in this industry just can't seem to want to do anything else, because they're, it's like The Godfather, once you got me in, you can't get out type thing. So that's a really fun one. And then we have another kind of fun one to end it, that's going to talk about kind of scenarios in a game show type atmosphere about two truths and a lie and relocation. But I think we're covering a lot of good ground. Am I missing anything, Teela? I think those.
No, yeah, that's the main one. Of course, we'll have the corporate roundtable the day before, so I think some of these topics can be talked about there too.
Yeah.
Mark, are you hosting the game show, Mark?
No, I'm not. I'm going to sit this one out. We have a very good game show host that has done it before, named Mobility. And he's done it before and done a fantastic job. So he's gonna run it for us again. I'm gonna, I may have some role throughout with, handing microphones here and there, and I'll be busy enough throughout it. So, but Gavin, who's going to be Mobility, is going to do a great job.
Yeah, if you saw the pictures from the Sudeth event that we hosted in February here in Florida, he did a fantastic job as Mobility. So we're bringing the blue shiny jacket back and the skinny mic and pulling out all the stops for the game show. So
this sounds amazing. I love Gavin. Gavin's awesome. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see Mobility.
He's got a really cool jacket too that he usually, it's a very nice game show jacket that he usually gets pressed beforehand. So so that'll be.
I'm just glad to know he's pressing his clothing now. This is really.
He outsources. He outsources it.
This is crazy. This is great. People are great and crazy. The people are in here. They're looking for the sparkling jacket. I need to start editing better to fit into eating better.
Yeah.
Hey, you got some time. Speaking of time, when is the conference? Give us the dates, give us the specs here. We've got the registration link going along the bottom of the screen here. When is Relopalooza?
So Relopalooza starts the evening of the 21st of June. So we'll have the mixer that Mark talked about, where you wear your concert t-shirt and have a little bit of networking fun. Corporate roundtable will be just before that in the afternoon. So we've worked out arrangements for corporates to check in early, drop their bag, do the corporate roundtable, and then the networking event will be right after that. And then it's an entire day on the 22nd. And we're letting people start a little bit later because we want them to join the charity walk so that we can give back to the foundation. So the walk will be in the morning, and then we have a fun opening sponsor giving us mimosas and waffles. So you don't want to miss that, a waffle bar. And then we'll get kicked off around 10 a.m. and it goes through to the end of the day, followed by Mobility Unplugged, as Mark said. And you need to register by June 1st. to take
Yeah.
advantage of the hotel special that we have. So keep June 1st in mind. You don't want to go beyond that date.
And the opening breakfast that Teela talked about, which should be a lot of fun, is called Breakfast at Tiffany's. So that will be the song opening that event. We also would urge people that if you're confused about kind of, okay, there's an opener the first night and then the full day the second, most people are going to leave that Friday morning. So I would allot 2 nights if you're wondering about it, coming in on the Wednesday and then planning to leave Friday morning.
Yeah, definitely want to stay longer and not cut it short. I know a lot of times people, oh gosh, I'm going to cut it short. What do you think? Can I leave early? Whatever. Aaron wants to know if there's anything on schedule for the 23rd.
Yeah, we looked at that. We looked at potentially doing a breakfast. But what tends to happen, or at least what we talked about and saw, is that a lot of people will grab an early morning flight, and we weren't sure. What we really wanted to do was try and get as much we could into the day of and the day before, and see what we can do in terms of funding and all of that, and make it as special as possible for those times. So it's definitely something hey, things could change and we'll let you know. But as of right now, it closes out with the Mobility Unplugged event that evening.
Yeah, awesome. I think Aaron, you should just grab a griddle, girl, and
I'll meet her.
just
Tell her
you know
I'll
what I
mean
mean?
her.
Start flipping flapjacks in the lobby or something, Get yourself a little free publicity. That's what I would do. I never had a budget for these things. No, this is awesome. This is fantastic. I want to talk about a few of the kind of hot topics right now in relocation, global mobility right now. I want to talk about, customer experience versus cost containment. I want to talk a little bit about the supply chain management and how partners are working together with their corporate counterparts kind of to be more effective and think of different solutions. And I want to talk a little bit about the kind of the rise in the new creative ways that the regional relocation groups are kind of adding more value. And then I want to get into some top 5s and some overrated, underrateds. So I'm going to put you guys kind of through a little bit of a lightning round here. Okay, is that all right? You up to that?
That works.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Hard hitting questions coming at you. We talk a little bit about. We always talk about the customer experience, the transfer experience, and having this is a benefits program. This is a way to make transferees and assignees happy, engaged, and productive in their roles throughout their mobility journey. And yet we can't deny the fact that we are going through some economic challenges right now, in the States and globally. So how do you balance the need for an incredible employee experience with the undeniable pressures of cost containment? Mark?
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting question. I think you got to be creative, and speaking from a corporate perspective, I think, you just have to find ways to, it's always going to be the age old service and cost, right? And how do you marry those? How do you blend them together and make sure that you can give the best experience possible while keeping costs at a certain level and getting that service high? There's a number of different things we've heard through networking with peers, benchmarking with my peers in the industry on different ways we can do that, whether it's exception management, whether it's looking at potentially lowering or decreasing some of the provisions that go along into packages for assignments and different things, aligning the market. But I think a lot of what I've learned over the years is, especially when times are tough, is relying on a lot of the relationships I've built in the industry with folks that have been around for a while and have been doing this stuff for a while. And I owe all of what I've learned to those people, and picking up the phone and calling them and being able to get some creative ideas from them has been helpful. And along with that is having those relationships and keeping those relationships. You never know when you might go into business with that particular person or their company, and they will find ways for you to try and contain costs and create a better experience. The other things that I typically do within my program is that, I'll reach out to previous transferees, particularly ones who've been on assignment a long time, and gather a lot of feedback about what went wrong and what we can do to get better. And
Mark, real quick, how do you do that? Is that like a formalized, like, kind of email cadence that goes out? Is that like you pick up the phone? Like,
yeah.
how do you actually execute that?
Yeah, it's number one, when they're on assignment, there's typically some check-ins that go on to see how things are going. What tends to kind of happen is if something goes wrong in a couple of these, that's the type of transferee that you're going to stay on top of as it goes throughout and even follow up with at the end. But typically what I'll do is set up a meeting with some of our folks once their assignments ended or their permanent transfers ended, and just ask from soup to nuts what went well, what went wrong regarding all the various aspects, whether it's, DSP, RMC, tax, immigration, all of that. And then take that feedback and actually don't put that feedback in a drawer, actually take it and do something about it. And then share it in roundtables, share it with peers. I can't tell you how valuable these corporate benchmarking roundtables are, because it's not everybody getting in a room and talking about, oh, this RMC did this or that. No, what we do is we actually talk about what's worked well for our assignees, and we get into the nitty gritty on that. So it's a really nice discussion. But I'll pause there. I want to allow Teela to answer as well.
You want me to pick up on the same question? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
no. Mark's running the show here, Teela. Go right ahead.
I know, he's just kind of
because I can go on, and everybody knows I talk.
You have to do this to Mark and pull him off screen.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously, all of what Mark said is essential to the process. I think coming at it from the supplier side of things, it really is about understanding the data and analytics behind the journey. And for 3 or 4 years, that's all we've been talking about is the customer journey. Then things happen. There was a complete paradigm shift where now all of a sudden we want to focus on cost. Well, something has to give unless you can leverage technology, automation, think differently. As Dara mentioned earlier, you think outside of the box. You try to really balance how do we get to the end goal of keeping the journey exceptional, but mitigate cost and try to keep costs down. And so the benchmarking piece is absolute. I think it's getting with your suppliers and having them sit down in a think tank and just kind of throw all ideas out on the table, and then working through what implementation of those ideas will mean long term, because you do need to understand certain things you cut are going to be at a cost, and are you willing to accept that cost? And so I think it's just the interaction and engagement with your supply chain, and having that data and analytics so that you guys can collectively work together to get to the end goal.
Yeah, that brings me, that's great. And it brings me kind of to my second question here about supply chain management, right? And suppliers and service providers. And Mark, it's really good to hear that you don't just get in a room and bash service providers, because that's kind of what we all thought you guys were doing in there. So I appreciate that. And on behalf of all the service providers, I'm just kidding, but on behalf of all the service providers out here. And by the way, if you have questions for Mark or Teela, get in there, leave them in the comments. I'm going to ask you real quickly though, what do you think is the area of the supply chain, to use kind of that word in terms of the transfer experience? What is the area, Mark, that you feel like is kind of maybe most vulnerable right now?
Well, I'd say, right now, obviously, we know what's going on in the real estate market, and we know what's going on with rates, right? And so I think that's one that everybody has their eye on. I'm always personally very interested. People talk about go to that conference, we get another real estate update. I like getting those updates each and every time. These are experts in the field. They know what they're talking about. I personally have an invested interest just personally in seeing how these rates. I loved at TRC that I was just at, where somebody said, everybody's freaking out about these high rates. These are normal rates.
Yeah.
What was happening before was not normal, right? Because historically, you talk to folks that are like our parents, right, that bought homes at a 10 or 12% rate. So anyway, that's one of the areas that I think is hot. It's vulnerable. It will, I think, look, the economy is always just an ebb and flow, and I think we're going to be fine in that category. I think another one is probably temp living, where we're just seeing exorbitant rates for stays out there, for and just finding rentals. At least in my program, it's we've seen some difficulty there, and in talking to peers in the industry too, it's been hard to find affordable pricing in certain areas. And then you talk about like intern programs, right, where we have a pretty strong intern program at our company, and what's tending to happen is the salary that these interns are going to make can't even cover what they would pay in rent for the summer, right? So you try to get them to double up with roommates and then find affordable pricing, and you work it out somehow. But that's an area that I don't know if vulnerable is the right word, but those are two hot areas, I'd say, our industry that are clearly hot topics today, and are just areas that will continue to get a lot of attention, I think.
That's interesting you bring that up, because we had Glenna Swan on here from Microsoft a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about the intern situation. And these interns would come in, they want wood floors in their apartment, they don't want to double up, even though they were living in a dorm room before. They don't want to double up, and it's just like, you wonder also about some of the expectations that folks come into these situations with, and it's interesting. We've got some comments coming in here. Viba Van Bockel here. What's up, Viba? Love the open conversation between client and supplier. I believe it's so important to really invest time and interest in what suppliers do and how the cost structures are built. Yeah, certainly. Jorge's saying something similar. He says transparency and really hear the real needs of the clients, can figure it out. A successful relationship, of course, thinking outside the box is important. Teela, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to, I know we're kind of running a little short on time because I got a couple other things I want to cover with you, but from a moving perspective, talk about supply chain issues and the ups and downs over the last 3 years, just specifically within the moving industry. I mean, do we have this thing figured out yet?
I think this year is going to show relief for everyone. Obviously, volume is extremely down right now. The fact that it's May 1st and we're not pulling our hair out yet is an indicator that we're either going to have a very, very slow peak season or it's going to be delayed. And there are a lot of impacts that are playing a part in that. I think you look at the tech layoffs, you look at other, industries that are looking at potential layoffs, or at least a neutral zone when it comes to the economy. There's a lot of hesitancy to move people. And then we're going to be approaching an election year, which tends to be a slow year for us. I think for me, the biggest thing impacting the moving industry is really the regulatory restraints that we face on a daily basis. It makes it harder and harder to be asset-based organization that can continue to financially support having rolling assets and warehouses and pay the labor costs that jacked up during COVID and post-COVID, because we never really got a break. We were deemed essential workers and the work just kept coming in. And last year was a higher than normal volume year. So I think all of those things are still playing a part. We're figuring out a lot as we go. But I think there will be some relief this year. I don't think you're going to see what you saw in years past, because I think it is slowly moving in a positive direction. But I think just being sensitive to those costs and the continued governmental regulations that change and continue to evolve, impacting moving companies.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great answer, Teela. And it does feel like it's maybe a delayed, if not kind of subdued peak season right now. And I can't help but thinking these interest rates and just kind of people's expectations around the cost of home ownership is part of that. you know, along with just the
So,
overall kind of economic climate. But, you know, your point about rolling stock and everything and being, you know, making it difficult to kind of afford and support, you know, operating assets, you know, for sure is definitely a challenge. But I also see that as an opportunity, right?
mhm,
Because, you know, that's such a differentiator. You know, there's so many people out there that want to do, you know, do this business without owning assets.
mhm,
But I mean, I think the person with the trucks at the end of the day is ultimately going to get the work. The question is how many intermediaries and how many things like that are in the middle of it. But
right.
obviously, I think y'all are very well positioned there. So I mean, that's really cool. I want to ask you. I want to get into some fun stuff. Okay, enough with this drab relo talk. All right. This
Thank
is
you.
Relopalooza, gosh darn. I know they're both sitting up straight, like trying to like
All
have you got
right.
your spelling bee faces on right now. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. Oh my gosh. We've got a couple more important questions coming in actually right now. So this, you know, let's stay serious just for 1 second here. Mark, this one's for you, unfortunately. So I want you really to focus here. Mark, how are you feeling about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets?
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Thanks, Tim. I love that question. That's an easy one. Feeling great about it. Look,
Is this your year or what?
you know,
'Cause that's about all he has left.
yeah, I mean, look, we had a strong team without him.
So
I think,
strong.
you know, Zach Wilson experiment didn't work out. I still felt like they didn't give him enough time, but that's the New York market. You get 2 years and you're done.
Yeah.
And but who knows? He could be a Geno Smith that later on in his career could be good.
Dude, Geno went to the Jets, got his jaw broke.
I know.
Went over to Seattle talking about they wrote me off. I didn't write back though.
He did well.
You know?
Yeah.
So
And I think, you know, I'll keep it short, but I think, you know, a lot of people think Aaron Rodgers is a little weird, or, you know, just he's a little full of himself. But, you know, I guess in a way he has a right to be. He doesn't care what other people think about him. He's just that good. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think what I'm really excited about is, look, we had one primetime game last year. It was a Thursday night game against Jacksonville. No offense, Teela. Jaguars were good last year.
rough.
We're probably going to
rough.
have,
It
if
hurt.
I had to imagine, we're probably going to have 4 or 5 at least primetime games now. So I'm very, very excited. Yeah, let's see what happens. You know, it's going to be, unfortunately, with New York, it's going to be Super Bowl or bust, but I'm excited.
Big question. Are you gonna have a better record than the Giants?
You know, Giants were surprising last year with Daniel Jones performing well in the playoffs. I think, yes, I do think we will. But you know, we've been the Giants' stepbrother for years, and years. Okay, it's time that the green shines in New York. Okay.
Well, you've been a lot of people's. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, the Patriots, and there's been a lot of teams that have run through y'all for a long time. To be honest with you. But no, yeah, my stepfather's a Jets fan, so it would be nice to see y'all get your flowers one year. Jason here checking in. Yeah, no, it's something. So no, you know what? Last year though, Mark, I looked this up. Y'all had 4 different players win Rookie of the Week honors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 2 that won offensive and defensive. Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. So. Yeah. Pretty amazing draft from last year, at least the ROI on that draft. So, yeah,
y'all are loaded right now, and it does feel like you're a quarterback away. So, you know what? I'm rooting for you, Mark. I really am.
Appreciate
Not
it.
that it matters. But anyway, let's get into a little bit of fun here. Okay, enough serious talk here with these Jets. Let's get into. I'm gonna make y'all wait for this overrated or underrated because it's that good. It's quality. We're talking about Relopalooza. Put you on the hot seat real quick with a top 5. Adam, can I get a top 5? I want to do Teela's top 5 concerts. Okay, Teela Gleason's top 5 concerts. Okay, Teela. Let's see. Number 5 is what, Teela?
Bruno Mars. Best showman. He's an amazing showman, and he's kind of bringing back the old school dance moves, showmanship. Fantastic.
I love it. I would definitely pay to see a Bruno Mars concert. 100%.
Totally worth it. Totally 100%. Worth it.
If you've seen any of these people in concert and you are watching right now, put it in the comments. I want to know your top 5 favorite concerts. Plus, if you want bonus question, is Teela crazy about any of these picks? Please put it in there as well. I always like to go there. Number 4.
This was amazing. The face-to-face tour where they played each other's songs.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
pianos rose up from the stage, and that was just the most amazing thing. It was pretty incredible.
Talk about the best dueling pianos ever, huh?
Oh,
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Incredible.
Did they play each other? Did they play with each other too, like at the same
They,
time at all?
they did. It kind of kicked off. I
Little
think
bit.
Elton John was the first one to come up, and you're thinking he's going to bolt out Rocket Man or something,
Right.
and he goes right into a Billy Joel song, and then Billy comes up, and then it's the same dynamic, and then the two of them join forces, and it was like that the entire evening. It was just one twist after another. Incredible, absolutely incredible.
Elton John's amazing. Billy Joel's one of my
Yes.
favorites. Together is just historic. That's awesome. What
Yeah.
a great pick. I mean, honestly, if that was your, I mean, right there, I mean, those two right there are just some. All right, let's go. Number 3. Oh,
Justin Timberlake and Jay-Z. So I got Mom of the Year award for this one because my daughter, they were
Oh.
performing on my daughter's birthday at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And so I call her and I said, how would you like to go see JT and Jay-Z? And she's like, are you kidding me? And I was like, no. Well, then her brother found out. He was jealous. So I had to add another ticket to it. So we go down and they're all decked out. They were more Jay-Z. I obviously was more JT. I show up and like the audience was just like, yo, I know you're here for JT and they're here for Jay-Z. And it was just a rocking, awesome night.
and that's the Suit and Tie, I believe,
Yes,
album
it was a
slash
suit and
concert.
tie.
Yeah.
Suit and tie, yes.
Get my suit and tie. All right, you know what? I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. It's probably my favorite artist if you're asking me right now. And I've been
Okay.
to several of his concerts. I saw him in Miami, also at the
Oh.
Fillmore down there with Mary J. Blige and Beyonce. So that was awesome. Yeah, I
So
mean,
they
love
showed
this.
up, but she showed up literally 30 minutes before the concert was over. All night, everyone's like screaming for Beyonce, and she like rolls in 30 minutes before the show's up. But that was pretty cool.
So
Awesome.
amazing. This is great. Jason Hall saying 2001 Up in Smoke tour. Yo, for real. Where'd you see it, Jason? And who was the headliner? Put us on. I bet you. Oh gosh, I don't know. Was it Cypress Hill or something? All right, number 2. Oh,
Wow.
stop
This is my
playing.
first concert. It was the White Glove tour. It was at the Jacksonville. At the time, it was the Gator Bowl here at the stadium.
Wow.
And I think I was in maybe 8th grade. But yeah, that was like the most incredible thing to have that as your first concert. Show up, I was on the field. It was just incredible. They were surrounded by a ton of friends.
Wow,
Great
I can't wait to
performer.
see what number 1 is. All right, number 1.
Aerosmith and Kiss together.
Now that's crazy. That's number 1 for you. I mean, you have some epic stuff. Why was that number 1?
Because okay, so I grew up on this stuff, but for me, it was about, because I was an adult when I went. It was about watching these men who'd clearly outgrown their high school Kiss concert T-shirts, but they felt compelled to wear them to the concert. So you got beer bellies hanging out of the bottom, and they wore it proudly, and they were just rocking the night away, and it just made like the whole experience so engaging and so much fun. So and there's a trick question on one of our things, and I actually answered, Aerosmith is like my hype girl. Like I love listening to Aerosmith on my way into the office, just getting me like jazzed up for the day.
Oh,
So
Look at it. Nathan Bringer says easy now.
easy now.
What up?
Nathan.
What up, Nathan? What's yours? What's your favorite concert? Let's know here. That's an amazing top 5. Honestly, that was one of my top fives, I think, of all time right there. That's incredible. We may need to see that at the conference. What, the Kiss T-shirts? Lisa, what do you chat? This is great. Mark, I'm going to ask you a slightly different question here. We're going to go with your underrated, overrated.
Okay.
All right. Can we get that? Oh, wow, you're good. Look at super producer Adam. Adam
awesome.
Sotelo, and he's on it. He's like this. I mean, this is great. Oh man, look at Jason put the whole lineup in here.
Oh, here we go.
Dre, Snoop.
See, and this is what it's all about. This is at our event. This is what it's all about. I mean, Teela, one of the other things I just want to get in here is that we'll have cue cards at the tables, okay, that are going to have all kinds of concert-related questions as networking opportunities. Because a lot of times you sit at tables that you may not know anybody, and there's some really good ones, like what concert was your dream concert that you weren't able to attend, or things like that. So this is right up the alley of what this event's going to be about, with all the great content involved.
Well, I feel like this event is highly underrated because I want to be there desperately
We need you
right
there.
now. So let's get into Mark's overrated, underrated. Mark, I think you might have played this game before. If you haven't, basically, I'm going to give you a topic. You're going to tell me if it's overrated or underrated. I'm going to tell you if you are correct. And if the audience would like to weigh in as well. Teela gets the joke here. Teela knows that's an absurd proposition.
I love it.
Then,
I love it.
yeah. And then if you want to get into the comments as the audience, please let us know. What do you think about Mark Bicocchi, that crazy cat? A Jets fan, him. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Number one, Starbucks, overrated or underrated?
I'm gonna go underrated. I'm a real I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Overrated. I'm a real I don't know if I'm a coffee snob, but I don't like the Starbucks process, because you're in line, you got the person asking what Sally, Joe, and Tom want, and then they got their orders. Okay, what can I get started for you, John, or what have you in the back? And by the time you get up there, it's messed up. And it's just a lot of waiting. You got to hear all these different 40-word titles of coffee.
I need more information. What are they messing up for you? What is your order that they can't get it right?
Usually I just get a cappuccino with nothing in it. It's very simple. Very simple.
Cappuccino with nothing in it's a coffee.
It's a coffee, but when I order it and then I get to the area where I pick it up, either my name's wrong, they don't have my name, or they lost the order because they keep jumping over people. So the whole process needs work. Frankly, it needs a Kaizen event.
He needs a Kaizen event. He says he's troubled by the customer experience at Starbucks. Yeah. Nathan says, and who goes to the drive-thru to order for 15 people?
Call ahead. Order online.
Jill, I know that's what everybody tells me, but when I go in, you just know it's going to get messed up, and it does.
Jason's with you. He's laughing. So where do you like your coffee from, Mark?
There's a local place here in Northern Virginia, Pete's, which has actually been around longer than Starbucks, but Pete's is really good.
Pete's, P-E-E-T.
It's P-E-E-T-S.
Right.
They've actually been around since, I think, like the 60s or 70s. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Aaron saying my name's always wrong.
Here we go. Name's always wrong. Yeah. Yep.
Aaron with 2 A's.
One time I had
like the nut.
One time I had my cup. It said Marv with a V.
Marv. Isn't that the best when you have a simple, like, straightforward name, and then they put some little panache on the end of it, and you're like, where'd that come from?
Yeah. You expect it when your name's Teela. You expect to get a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what, Mark? I'll allow it. Yeah.
Thanks.
I kind of liked your underrated take better, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Nathan's talking about how they spell his name. Nathan. What's up, Nathan? All right, here we go. Next, overrated, underrated, being bald.
Well, you know what I'm going to say, underrated.
I concur. Look, I strongly believe in the bald man.
Low maintenance. My Italian cousins in Italy would say, when I started receding and I was freaked out about it back in my mid 30s or early 30s, actually, they would say, it loses in translation, but in Italian it says è di moda now, which means, and nowadays it's in style. So,
yeah, it's just the style, it's the trend, it's the fashion. You know what? High speed, low drag. As they say in the Marines, right? Yeah. I mean, I think, I like it. I think it's clean. We had a guy in the office, Danny Herskowitz. He took it all the way down. Looks amazing. Yeah. The guy's lap time is like, amazing now too. So, yeah.
But don't get me wrong. If I could have my old hair back, I would.
But the whole thing, not the
the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you. That's a tough time though, knowing when to go for it,
Oh, we all
struggle with that. Like,
it was I held on for a while, I will admit that.
Yeah, Charles is with you. You know, it's cool. You know, but I think it gives people courage. You know, thank you, Mark, for speaking up.
Yeah.
Marilee said that's why you need to do a Target Starbucks drive-up order along with your other order. You can get alcohol at the Target. Girl, just stop. You're giving all the secrets away, Marilee. Marilee, you do the Target pickup and the Starbucks pickup all at once. You take the Target booze, you put it in the grande cappuccino. All right. This is good. The Rock made it cool. There's a guy before The Rock called Michael Jordan, by the way.
That's right.
You know,
or even you know, sort of a not maybe as well-known actor, but Jason Statham, Bruce Willis. Right?
Jason Statham's awesome. Excellent example.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. You know, I concur, Mark. Thank you for representing for
sure.
Baldwin everywhere. All right, next. Taking a bath. Splish Splash. I was taking a bath. Is that going to be one of your songs in the conference?
All right, so I'll go underrated on this one. Okay, and
it's getting real intimate.
I'll tell a quick story.
Tell a story. Sure, we got time.
So I very quickly, I was at the Serva conference years ago, down in beautiful Florida.
It's like a team building exercise.
What's happening here? No, it was at the Ritz-Carlton, and it was an older Ritz-Carlton. And when I checked in and get into my room and I went to take a shower, I noticed the door was open in the bathroom, and it was a long door, kind of almost, you know, just looked like it was against the wall. And so I'm looking in the room and I see the bathtub, I see the sink and everything.
This is how you met Vinny?
I could not no. I could not find the shower.
Oh.
And so long story short, I took baths for 3 days because I could not find the shower. Turns out when I was checking out, I moved the door as I was checking out. The shower was right behind the door the whole time. And,
but by then it was too late. You were converted.
And I'd wanted to admit it at the conference a couple of times to others, but I was like, nah, maybe their rooms have them and I don't want to be weird. And so, so anyway, that's what happened. And
now they say 21 days to make a habit. For you, it was only 3.
Yeah.
You're highly adaptable.
Yeah.
And now it's a permanent. Now it's a fixture.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it happens often, but
that's what they always say. It never happens. I never do this. Okay. All right. Moving on. Wow. Appreciate the candor. TikTok, overrated or underrated?
Yeah. I'd say overrated. I just don't. I hear so much about it. It's probably just because of my lack of knowledge. I don't have an account. I don't really. People are always sending me these things, and I try and open them, and then they don't open. And so that's probably just me not having time to explore it a little more.
Yeah, they won't open because you don't have the app. Is that what it is? You just clicking it, it won't open. Oh my gosh. This is great. People, you are making people's day right now. Honestly, if this is a microcosm of what people are going to experience in Raleigh, North Carolina, transformative would be the word I would use for Relopalooza. Last one here. I know we're over. Last one, Mark.
Right.
Mowing the lawn, overrated or underrated?
Underrated. I've always enjoyed mowing the lawn ever since I was a kid. It's therapeutic. It's fun to be outside on a hot day and getting some exercise. I've always loved it. Right now, I actually don't.
How long does it take you to mow?
But
so you're not even mowing your lawn right now, and you're saying it's
no. I'm in a townhome, and I have a side yard, but the association does it. But I miss it, and I always did it with a push too. I didn't do it with the sit on because it's good exercise. And
now you're just showing off. So you did it with the put. You did the push mower. Was it like? Was it one of those with the blades going around like this, or was it like?
No, it had like it was a Toro mower that had, the blades on the bottom, but the push, I will admit, the push has like a lever, so like it kind of pulls you with it a little bit. So it's kind of cheating, but
it's like a pull mower.
Yeah.
This is great. Dara saying the Bass story will live in infamy. Listen, we should all aspire to have this kind of transparency.
I'll tell you this. I went to the same conference at the same hotel a couple of years later. I told all my guy friends about this, and they said they couldn't believe it. I took a video of the bathroom when I went again 2 years later, and I showed them. I said, this door is on the side of the wall. Like you can't. And they saw, they're like, okay. They said, I could see why you would get kind of, like I could see how that'd be confusing or what have you. So,
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just like the fact you own it. And now, it's like it's in the repertoire for me, I think it's something I forgot about and never went back to. And I think maybe I need to revisit that. And I think at the end of the day, we all learned something, and that's what this is about.
Yeah.
So I'm
Bubble
super
bath for Mark from now on.
If you want to know what to get Mark Bicocchi for Christmas, it's bath bombs. Definitely go hit my Amazon store right now if you want to know.
My kids still use the bath bombs. They love them.
Nice. This is great. I'm so excited about Relopalooza in Raleigh. It's going to be lit, as the kids say, and maybe a little relaxing. Probably a lot of really cool stuff happening. Teela and Mark, thank you so much for being here. I want to give you the opportunity just to leave us with one final closing thought. Teela, would you like to go first and leave us with a final thought?
I think there are many sponsorship opportunities out there. Don't forget June 1st. Go register, sign up to be a sponsor. The benefits of being a sponsor are nothing compared to what you're used to. You're going to get full benefit of it, and it's going to give you all the attention that you need. So yeah, go sign up for sponsorship and register to join us. It's going to be a blast.
Sponsor and attend Relopalooza. The link is going along the bottom there. It's also in the comments there. I think Adam left in the comments as well. Mark Bicocchi, final thought.
I would just, echo Teela there, but also I just want to give a big shout out of thanks to Teela, as well as a couple of our newer board members, Dara O'Brien and Katie Gogo, for Wake Me Up Before You Go. They've all done a tremendous job. They're all new to the board this year, and so they've all just really done a tremendous job promoting this, along with our pals from CMARC and everybody else on our board. So I want to give them a tremendous amount of thanks. And we are excited to see you guys. Let us know if you have any other questions. Hope to see you in Raleigh.
Awesome. And I would like to tell you tomorrow, stay tuned, because tomorrow we will be broadcasting live, Love and Reload live, from the FEM conference. Pardon me. I was in New Orleans. I'm a mess. Anyway, we'll be at the FEM conference in Dallas tomorrow, broadcasting live at 5 o'clock Central Time. I'm looking at Adam. He's nodding. Thank you, Adam. 5 o'clock Central Time, the FEM conference. So tune in. It's going to be a little bit different time, 2 hours later, but it's going to be amazing. We're going to get a cocktail reception. And the day after, on Thursday, we will actually be coming to you live from the FEM Awards dinner, the Emma's Awards dinner. So, yeah, if you don't have the opportunity to be there, you can still kind of take part and see what's going on from home.
Ben, are you doing the red carpet?
I think I'm going to be doing, I don't know what color the carpet is.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
But yes, I'll be interviewing people before the dinner, catching everybody in their formal attire. It's going to be great. Some cool awards being given out. Mark, thank you so much for being here. Teela, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ben.
And thanks for all of you for watching. Hit that like button and leave some love for our guests today.